Captain by a hook with a red beard. Cap by a hook with a red beard.
Okay. Okay. Starting off the Thursday week. Nobody in the seat. 20 seconds of dead air time. Maybe a little more. That is never good. You're listening to Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives. Apologize. I hit record and forgot. I need to grab my coffee. Made it about 30 minutes ago. Had to heat it up a tad in the microwave. How we doing tonight, people? Have a wonderful show. I've been looking at a lot of baseball bets for the season. Today I'm gonna go over Cy Young, MVP, and I'm just gonna throw up a Rookie of the Year one. Pretty obvious in the National League. Once I get through a little baseball talk, it's back to college hoops, baby. Gonna break down my Elite 8 tier and my Final 4 tier. I'm gonna touch on the Sweet 16 tier for just a minute before I move past it. I went over that for about 25-30 minutes on Tuesday. Last night, however, Xavier won outright as dogs, +6.5. Houston covered barely, winning by 11. Wisconsin, think I'm gonna have to give these Badgers a break. And then Utah State, nothing for it, Dad. Ended up 2-2 on the evening, bringing the week's college basketball total to 7-5-1 Monday through Wednesday. Nothing like a hot cup of Joe. Today, I am Pac-12 heavy for some reason. I have 4 bets, 3 of them in the Pac-12. One Big Ten game I want to touch on. Another Big Ten game I have an under on. And yeah, I'll give those out at the end of the show. It's Thursday, January 26th. You're listening to Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dies. How's everybody doing? Nobody can answer. Hope y'all are doing good. Jumping right into it. Why delay? Why wait? Why wait? Why wait? I don't even remember who sings that. Cy Young Award. Also, I noticed that they have win totals up. I didn't have time this morning to dive into the win totals as I would like. Monday, however, will probably be 10, 15, 20, 35 minutes. Just win totals. I might touch on every team. Might only touch on 20 teams that I actually like. And ignore the ones that are a little off. But I would like to touch on every one. Just to touch on it, even if I say what it is and move to the next one. Very interesting win totals. I didn't really look. I literally saw it was open, and it was like, you got to start the show, buddy. So I just see the Yankees and the Red Sox, because they were the first two. Yankees at 90-something. Woo! Sorry. I think they have a horrible year. They deserve a horrible year. I think they have a horrible year. Anyway, moving on to the American League Cy Young winner. Of course, you have the favorites Dylan Cease, Garrett Cole, Jacob DeGrom, and Shohei Ohtani, all under plus 1,000. Uh, Great pitchers, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to. I don't believe in Cease, Cole, DeGrom, or Ohtani. Ohtani may be the one I believe in the most, but at some point he's got to have a down year at either pitching or hitting. I think pitching comes first in that down year order. Right behind those four guys, DeGrom healthy, man. I'm a Mets fan. White Sox, Mets. White Sox first. Don't get it twisted. So I haven't watched DeGrom pitch more than 20 games a season in 5 years. I don't think moving to Texas is gonna help that any. Garrett Cole, probably the weirdest situation of a professional ball player I've ever seen. I feel like we're going to talk about him 50, 60 years from now as just a conundrum. Was he good? Oh, was he horrible? He had some good games. Never, I don't know. I just remember him with the Pirates. Y'all can't erase the 7 years of him in Pirates jersey with me fading his ass with a couple sticky fingers in New York and Houston. I don't know. Never believed in the man. Would definitely not believe in him as Cy Young. And then right behind these guys, you got Carlos Rodon, another one of the sticky fingers does. And just touch on Cease real quick. I just don't think he'll be consistent enough. Last season was his best season by far. He can either take a step up or a step down. I see him taking a step down as much as I would love for him to be dominant on the White Sox. We need him, but I just never believed in him. Carlos Rodon moving to the Yankees, doing a lot of talking on Twitter. I don't like it. Carlos Rodon, Shane Bieber, Alex Manoah, and Luis Castillo. All the next line of favorites from like plus 1,000 to plus 1,500. I think Manoah takes a step back. I think Bieber's age is catching up with him. Castillo has a great situation in Seattle. I think he relaxes a little, finally being around some talent. I don't think he's going to need to pitch as he's been pitching for the Reds. And I think mentally he comes in a little down. Rodon, definitely not a Cy Young candidate in my eyes. And yeah, the guy I'm going with is out of Houston, Texas. Give me Lance McCullers. Plus 5,500, plus 5,500. Give me Lance McCullers for the American League Cy Young. They just got rid of Verlander, which opens up the ace spot. I think he's the guy who steps in and takes it. And I think he takes on full responsibility and comes in mentally prepared to become a household name. Lance McCullers on the mound. I think he reaches a 3 or 4 year peak starting this season of being one of the best in the game. Definitely is the way his career's path is going. I think this would be a great year for him to win the Cy Young or at least be top 2 or 3 in the Cy Young voting. Lance McCullers at 5,500. Moving over to the NL. Kind of the same deal. You got the favorite Sandy Alcantara. You know who the boy is for the Marlins. Plus 450. Corbin Burns plus 550. Then of course you have the Mets boys, Verlander and Mad Max, 550 and 750. And then another weird one, I'm just gonna touch on. I don't think he'll be consistent enough to do this. I think we'll have a great 2 or 3 months, but as far as the whole 6 month season, Merrill Kelly as a long shot at plus 5,500, the same odds I gave McCullough out on. I like Merrill Kelly. Watch him closely last season. We'll watch him closely again this season, covering the Diamondbacks for BurnCitySports.com. However, because of what I just said, this young man right here at plus 1,600 is the guy I'm voting for. Last season, he broke a franchise record with a scoreless inning streak. He had, I want to say 47.1 innings in a row without giving up a run. It was about I want to say 3 to 5 week stretch of him starting games, pitching 5 or 6 innings, and not giving up a run. It was amazing to watch. It was fantastic. Merrill Kelly was July's pitcher of the month, and Zach Gallen was August's pitcher of the month. It was huge news in D-back circles. Have both of those guys on it. I like Zach Gallen, man. Plus 1,600. That's the two Cy Young bets that I have put in is Lance McCullers and Zach Gallen. I might come back to this award markets, do a little more shopping. Still got a few weeks before the season really gets into gear, and spring training picks up in about a month from now. Yeah, those are the two Cy Young awards I like: Lance McCullers, Zach Gallen. Houston Astros, and the Arizona Snakes, baby, the Diamondbacks, set to have a pretty good year. I think they make a wild card run, at least make it into the postseason. And then if anything can happen, who knows? Moving on to the MVP award circuit in the American League. It's not me. It's you. No, I'm playing. The Houston Astros, man, only gotten better since last season. They picked up Jose Abreu, which has been the best player on my favorite team, the White Sox, for at least 7 seasons. 2020 American League MVP with the White Sox. I don't think he's not gonna have to carry that team like he carried the White Sox. So I think he's gonna still put up his 100 RBIs, still hit close to 300 average, still gonna hit around 25 to 35 home runs. He's gonna have an amazing season. But I think what he's gonna do the most, I think he's gonna come into that lineup. And I mean, of course, you got Altuve, you got Bregman, you got your boy Pena. You got a couple other cats in that lineup already doing this. But Abreu is going to come in and take pressure off of everybody I just named. You know he's going to take pressure off the most? Yordan Alvarez. I think not only will he take the pressure off of Yordan Alvarez, I think he's going to talk to this young man in a way that's going to get him going, even more than he's been going. Give me Yordan Alvarez plus 1,600 to win the American League MVP award. Man, I can't wait to see where they put Jose Abreu in this lineup. I think last season they were doing Altuve. I think Altuve was leading off, and then I think Alvarez was second, and then Bregman was third. Abreu in that cleanup spot is disgusting. Hopefully they don't have him hitting 6th, 7th, or 8th. I would love to see Abreu in that top 5 of that lineup, really doing the darn thing. Give me Yordan Alvarez plus 1,600 to win the American League MVP. Abreu's gonna tell him, look, I already got my MVP, man. This your world. You the young buck. Now I have three, really two, but three names that I want to throw out for the National League MVP. I'm gonna start with the one that's least I don't know, but you gotta mention Goldie plus 1200. If he has a season anywhere near last season, he's definitely taking this award home. Ooh, excuse me. He's plus 1200. Goldie is. However, I'm going to look kind of two rivals, man. I'm gonna look at both of these guys to step up. Ronald Acuna Jr. Um, rumor has it he is in the Dominican League right now, getting ready for the World Baseball Classic, and he is acting a fully on. He is hitting bombs left and right. He is feeling good, having a blast, yucking it up. I think Ronald Acuna Jr. comes in this season looser than ever. Um, I think he acts a fool, man. I think he really takes control of that Braves lineup. Even though they have 6 or 7 guys, they're just as deep as the Astros, if you ask me. But I think Acuna takes it to a new gear, hits season highs in all of his career highs in all of his season stats. I love Acuna at plus 850. However, I also love somebody else to do the same thing. Polar Bear Pete Alonso plus 2,800. Long odds, however, I think he would do exactly what I just said Acuna would do. Set career highs in season stats across the board. Really become that leader that the Mets need. He led them last season at the plate, but really become that vocal defensive, offensive, take the stress off of everybody's shoulders guy that he can be, he's capable of being. I think he puts everything together this season, mental aspect, along with the physical attributes. Give me a Polar Bear Pete at plus 2,800. And then just a Rookie of the Year, a throw up in the air. Corbin Carroll plus 400 for the National League Rookie of the Year. I know he's the favorite. I know it's a square bet. But I watched this man play the last month of the season, and whoo-wee, this boy is like, if you build a robot to play baseball perfectly, his name is Corbin Carroll. He might have a little slump this season after coming in hot, but I don't think so. It's captained by a hook with the red beard, Rowan Dannegy, a.k.a. Rowan Dobbs, going live. Just to touch, I'm going to jump into college hoops talk now, people. My part of my madness breakdown leading up to March. Just to touch on the Sweet 16, I want to throw 2 teams in there. I'm not going to go over everything I went over Tuesday. It was a 30-minute segment. I want to throw Rutgers and Gonzaga. I know. Kill me. I want to throw Rutgers and Gonzaga into the Sweet 16 category talk. I want to say Gonzaga is going to lose in the second round. But I can see them getting to the Sweet 16. The more I really talk and look at it. I also love Rutgers to get to the Sweet 16. Let me just touch this real quick. According to the bracket that came out on the 23rd, I forgot where Gonzaga is in this. I think they were a 3 seed. Yeah, Gonzaga will be a 3 seed, taking on Eastern Washington, which I think they beat easily. And then I do have them losing in the second round to Michigan State. So I don't know if I'm going to add them to the Sweet 16, but that is their ceiling, I believe, the Sweet 16. I'm sure the bracket will move around a little in the next 6 weeks until it comes out. However, Rutgers and Gonzaga, I would love to throw in the Sweet 16 tier. If you want to get that full tier in, like I said, Tuesday's show, January 24th, 30 minutes of that show was just on teams with a ceiling to reach the Sweet 16. Now I'm going to break down teams that have a ceiling to reach the Elite Eight and teams that have a ceiling to reach the Final Four. Just to start in the Elite Eight. Again, go back to Tuesday's show if you need me to break this down, what I'm doing. I don't think these teams are going to the Elite Eight. I think that's their ceiling. I think they definitely make it through the first two rounds and through the Sweet 16 game and end up in the Elite Eight. Once they get to the Elite Eight, I would look to fade them. And if they get to the Final Four, I will look to fade them. Now, a lot of this can change. Again, starting next Tuesday, I will really be doing deep dives into teams individually. I will go through each conference and talk about the 3 to 5 to 8, depending on the conference, teams that are projected to make the tournament. And then I will talk about their strengths and their weaknesses, what they want to play against, what they don't want to play against, what kind of sets they like to run, what kind of tempo they like to play at, free throw percentage, and their rebounding efficiency. Two of my favorite stats, rebounding and free throws. I will break all that down over the next 6 weeks, moving up to selection Sunday, again, every Tuesday, Thursday. Once the Super Bowl ends, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday will be 10, 20, maybe 30-minute segments strictly built around getting you guys ready for March Madness. I will do all the deep dive stuff for you. I will talk about all the teams you don't even want to think about. I will bring all the little schools from the back and put them on the forefront for at least 5 minutes here and there. If you follow along over these next 7 weeks, we should be able to make a lot of money off of this tournament. And I am geeked for it, excited about it. I wanted to set some parameters with this ceilings list. So I did the Sweet 16 on Tuesday. Now, the Elite Eight. Teams with the ceiling of the Elite Eight. Teams that I think will cruise through the first 2 rounds into the second weekend. And then be able to get through that Sweet 16 matchup and get to the Elite Eight. You have Kansas, who I know. They've been struggling. And not really struggling. They play a tough schedule. They played close games. Every game's been down the stretch. It's kind of like you can say, oh, they're only winning by 1 or 2, or they're losing by 3, and say that they're going to struggle in the tournament. However, come tournament time, those are the kind of games you need to be experienced in. Those are the kind of games you need to win. 2-point game, 30 seconds left. Kansas will get to the tournament, get into one of those situations, and look at each other and be like, we've done this about 20 times already. Let's go out here, let's execute, knock down a shot, get a stop, make our free throws, and let's go on to the next round. Let's win this game, go home, get some pizza, get some sleep, get ready for the next round. Kansas Jayhawks, I think they have a few players that will step it up come tournament time. And I don't really have much to worry about. It's Bill Self. I think he knows how to navigate tournament style preparation. Arizona. Elite Eight? Only? A lot of people have this team in the Final Four talk conversation. Arizona, love them. Love what they're doing. I just don't think they have the. They're missing that one star guy. I don't know how to say it. They have great players. They have players that bring electric energy. I mean, you watch this team play, you're going to love them or you're going to hate them. It's not like you can just watch them and just watch them. You're going to feel some type of way watching these kids play. And I love that. I wouldn't want them to change at all, even if you hate them, and which I hate 2 of them. But not like that. Nothing personal. They play the game the way I played the game. So it's like, it's a respect hate. It's like, damn, somebody just slapped this boy. You can't let him just dog you like this. Because he's balling. You know what I'm saying? I think Arizona, man, I think they bring energy through the first 2 rounds. The Sweet 16 game, no matter how close it is, I think they get to the Elite Eight. This might be one of the teams that creeps into the Final Four. Definitely not going to take it away from them. I just don't think that they have that go-to guy to get a bucket when they need a bucket. against an Elite Eight opponent. Virginia in the ACC is one of those teams I think is poised to make a deep run in this tournament. Virginia, I definitely can see going to the Elite Eight and even the Final Four. Again, from every tier, it's going to be a team that proves me wrong and breaks through. So you're going to have somebody from the Sweet 16 tier in the Elite Eight. That's why there's only 6 names in the Elite Eight tier. Again, I'm not guessing the Elite Eight. This is their ceiling. If they lose before this, they lose before this. I think it'll be an upset or a disappointment, but it's more than possible. There's a better chance of them not getting to the Elite Eight than getting to the Elite Eight, if you know what I mean. But Virginia, the Cavaliers, I don't know, man. I don't know why this season they've been one of my favorite teams. I took them to win the ACC beginning of the season before it started. And I just been kind of keeping a little eye on them, and I watched them just win a lot of good games in a lot of different ways. They got a couple different styles they can play. I love what Virginia brings to the table. And then this team is getting shakier and shakier. And I might switch this team out with Xavier, the team that just beat them on the road last night for the second time in the season. Xavier, that's not the team I'm talking about. I have them in the Sweet 16 tier, but I think they need to be switched, honestly. I got UConn in the Elite Eight tier only because potential of these players that they have. They have one of the best rosters in college basketball. 2 or 3 different guards that can strictly get it done. And then down low, you got Aduma. You got the big boy. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Aduma Sanoga. I'm horrible at names, man. I probably need to get better at that if I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna do this kind of show, I need to learn how to say people's names. But they got the big man down low who's an absolute monster. And then coming off of the bench, they have a big man who is not as much of a monster, but I think skill-wise is probably that much better than Sanogo. Next season, that boy is going to be a beast. He might even show up in this tournament and be the X Factor and go Drew Timmy, Larry Bird, and just take over. UConn, I can see them getting to the Elite Eight. With every game they lose, I think they've lost now 6 out of 8 or 6 out of 9. Starting to get a little worried. Little concerned. They are in the Big East, which could be called the Big Beast of college basketball. Only 3 teams in the Big East that are pretty bad. You got DePaul, Butler, and Georgetown. Anyway, so I got Kansas, Arizona, Virginia, UConn, Elite Eight tier. 2 more teams I want to talk about. Kentucky. Yes, Kentucky. They have the roster, they have the build, they have the coach, they have the culture. All they need to do is show up and get the ball in the paint. Let Oscar Tshiebwe dominate. Barring some weird matchup, like there's only a few teams that can match up with Tshiebwe, and down low, I would say that's Purdue with Edey. I would say that's Alabama, who proved it already with their big men. There might be 1 or 2 other guys. I'd hate to throw Dickinson in there, but I'd hate to not mention them as far as great big guys. Kentucky, though, they can dominate, I want to say 80% of the tournament teams down low. I think Michigan State has a nice big man that could play with them, but he could dominate, like I said, at least 75-80% of the tournament. Give me Kentucky to get things together and get it rolling. They've already showed the signs of it. I think the last 2 weeks they've been back on track, balling out of control. The last team I want to talk about, I believe they handled business last night. The last 5 games, yes, Indiana winning by 4 against Minnesota. I knew that 10 was too much. But Indiana and Tracy Jackson Davis acting a darn donkey. Last night, I'm on it. I didn't even look it up before. 25 points and 21 rebounds. 25 points, 21 rebounds. He's on another level this last few weeks. I mean, he's the best player in the country. Of course, Zach Edey is the best player in the country just because of size and scheme. But Tracy Jackson Davis at 6'9" is being just as dominant as Zach Edey is in the post, and he's leading this Indiana team. Like I said the other day, I don't know if he can lead them through a tournament, but I think this season he has the best chance to do so. They have two guys injured. They've been out and they've still been balling. Once those guys come back, whoo! I think this Indiana team. I hate to even say it. I've been fading Indiana for 3-4 years because of Tracy Jackson Davis and his lack of aggression, his baby hook and fadeaway style game. This season, he's dunking on your head. I think Indiana can make a deep run into the tournament. Elite Eight ceiling for sure. Now, I have three teams in the Final Four tier. I will touch on them very briefly because what more can I say? Houston, Alabama, and UCLA. I think Alabama is the best team in the nation. I think UCLA is right behind them. Like UCLA has one foot on their plateau and then the other foot like kind of chilling on about a half an inch, half a foot lower plateau. And then you have Houston a little lower than that, I think. I think that's how it should go. Bama, UCLA, Houston, those are the best three teams in the nation. Um, some different styles. Houston and UCLA are slow, defensive, get buckets team, where Alabama is just a no, we're gonna hit 80 and you only gonna get 60, and we don't give a damn about walking it up. We're gonna shoot it 10 times more than you every 5 minutes, and we're gonna grab every rebound, and we're gonna talk about your mama. So I love Alabama, UCLA, and Houston all to have that Final Four potential this season. Again, this is just some ceiling talk, trying to set parameters for teams. You should be able to come back and touch this. And if you're in the Elite Eight and you got Memphis, I think it's time to start looking to fade them. They shouldn't have made it past the Sweet 16. That's kind of how I'm doing this for y'all, if it makes sense. I didn't do the first or second round because that's when the madness really happens. And I'm not just going to try and call a bunch of first round exits. Second round, I might do, like I think Gonzaga has a second round ceiling. But I don't think it'll behoove anybody for me to do that. You're listening to Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives. I'm gonna jump into my picks for Thursday night momentarily. Whew. However, again, next Tuesday, I will start deep diving into teams individually and breaking them down using the projected brackets that ESPN puts out every week. I'm not gonna talk matchups though. I hate because that's gonna change. But I am gonna talk. I think I've said it enough times. But team strengths, team's weaknesses, what kind of sets they like to run, tempo, free throws, rebounding. You get a team. It could be the best team in the nation. If their rebounding is low and they can't make free throws, guess what's gonna happen when the tournament comes? They're gonna lose to a school you never heard of that can rebound and make free throws. That's just how the game goes. Especially in a close game with 2 minutes left. If you leave 3 or 4 free throws short, guess what? That other team is gonna win. Or at least cover. Anyway, you're listening to Captain by a Hook, like I said. Give me when I break it down and I put it loud, dun with the whoop pow. All right, one game I don't have a bet on: Michigan and Purdue. Michigan is +5 at home. I like to think Hunter Dickinson can handle his own against Zach Edey, and that will not need to double as much. But that's yet to be seen. I look forward to watching this game. I think it'll show Dickinson, Edey. I think it'll show both of these teams' true colors. Not that one game can really tell you much. I think Michigan is live to stay in this game, especially with Purdue being the low scoring team that they are. I'm kind of enticed to take the +5. However, I will be fine just watching this game with no bet on it and enjoying some Big Ten basketball on a Thursday night. Um, Again, not going to touch on it. But I think it'll be a huge game for Michigan. I think they show up and they come ready to play, and I feel like they're going to win. But I'm a little biased when it comes to the blue and yellow. And I got Purdue's win total under on the season. So I need them to pretty much lose the rest of the season. No, I'm playing. Games that I do have, 10 p.m., the late night, the nightcap. Give me Arizona -5.5 over Washington State. I think this is easy breezy, Japanesey. Probably be asleep by the time it starts, and wake up to some gold in me pocket. Arizona -5.5 on the road taking on Washington State. I think they win by 13 or more. Keeping it in Washington and keeping it on Arizona schools. Give me Arizona State again at 10 p.m. We'll go to sleep on both of these games. This one I'm not so sure about, but I like Arizona State, the Sun Devils, to cover this -2.5. Small favorites on the road taking on Washington. Arizona State dropped 2 in a row at USC and UCLA. I think they get back on track tonight. They've had 4 or 5 days off since their last game. I think they come out ready to play, push the tempo a bit, and get Washington on their heels. Give me Arizona State -2.5. And then again, I told you, it's some Big Ten, some Pac-12 basketball going on tonight, and I'm betting on it. Give me UCLA, the mighty Bruins. I just got to find who they play here. But UCLA, the mighty Bruins, give me them -5. You might even could find a 4.5 out there if you shop around. UCLA at -4.5, -5. I got the -5. Taking on USC. I do not think UCLA loses 2 in a row. I think they win this game. The cover might be tight, but I think they do cover. I think they do end up winning by at least 8. I like the -5 here with UCLA on the road taking on USC, a team who has been shaky to say the least. Now, this last game is some Big Ten games. I need somebody, anybody, to hit me with the horns. Franklin Earl Beard Winnaton with his best bet of the day. Give me a Big Ten under. I don't know. Already sounds automatic, doesn't it? Give me Iowa taking on Michigan State in Michigan State. I was about to say Lansing, but I didn't want to mess it up. I'm pretty sure they're playing Lansing. That might be Michigan. I love both of those teams. Michigan State, Iowa. Michigan State at home. Give me the under 147 and a hook. I think this game struggles to hit 140. I love the 147.5. Yes, Iowa scores a lot. Yes, Iowa pushes the pace. However, I think Michigan State is better at controlling the pace and slowing it down. I think they're better defensively than almost any school in the nation. I would put Michigan State's defense top 5. You got schools like UCLA, Houston. Off the top of my head, can't think of a lot of other schools. Virginia has a great defense. But a lot of these teams these days, they win it on offense. Michigan State is one of the old school teams that wins on defense. Give me this game being in the 60s. Maybe one team hits 70, 71, but I don't think it gets both of these teams get over 70. Give me the under 147.5. Michigan State versus Iowa. The fact that Michigan State is a 2.5 point favorite also makes me like this under even more. I don't know. If you tell me Michigan State's gonna win by 3, I'm telling you, it's going to be 69-65 or 71-65. It's going to be a low-scoring affair. Give me the under 147.5 in Iowa, Michigan State as the best bet of the day. To recap the other three bets: UCLA -5, Arizona -5.5, Arizona State -2.5. Let's go root for some Pac-12, huh? Thank you for listening. It's been Captain by a Hook. I appreciate the love. Appreciate everybody. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Rowan Donaghy, where we can kick the bleep all we want. I definitely write back to anybody. Not a celebrity. I am just a gambling mofo. Thank you for listening. See y'all tomorrow. Jaden Chandler Parnell will be here. We're breaking down championship weekend in NFL basketball. I got ink in my nails. If you don't know, now you know.